Hey girls, Tiffany Dawn here, and recently I've gotten some emails about boy drama, which is only my favorite thing in the world to talk about, so let's talk about it. I felt rejected a lot of the time when I was in high school and college, and so I want to share with you some thoughts about rejection. First, let me tell you this story. I was studying abroad in Australia and I met this guy and I just fell head over heels for him. He was a pastor there, he was young and my age, and he was about to go plant a church in Asia, and I had always dreamed of being a missionary in Asia, and I was like, this is perfect, like this has got to be what God has in store for my life. So I come back to America after studying abroad and I start interviewing for jobs in that country. I'm like, get me there now. We're gonna go, I'm gonna get married, we're gonna plant churches together all over the world, this will be awesome. Well, this interview for the job that I was more than qualified for ended up being given to somebody else who was not as qualified and actually quit halfway through the year. But it was so clear to me that God was shutting the door in my face. So a few months later, this guy that I liked messaged me and was like, so did you get the job? Like, are you coming over here? What's the plan? And I was like, honestly, I didn't get the job and God's opening doors here, but I still really liked him. So then he just started drifting and I was like, what did I do wrong? Like, he doesn't think I'm pretty enough. And he ended up starting dating somebody else, ended up proposing to his girlfriend, and I saw that they were getting married. I felt really disappointed and a little confused as to how that could happen. Like, God, how could there be somebody better fitted for me? Like, I really thought this was your will and the way I was supposed to go. Like, what's going on? I didn't know what to do about it. And I loved overanalyzing it. Like, I don't know about you, but my favorite thing in the world is like overanalyzing boys. He said this, he said that, he looked at me this way, like, what does it mean? But what I found was that that put my heart in the wrong place. When we're always thinking about it, it's just keeping our heart set on this guy and it's setting us up for hurt and for disappointment. And what I've learned is that the best thing we can do in those situations is not try to figure it out. And I often feel like God was just putting in my heart like, Tiffany, would you let me just surprise you? Like, God is the master storyteller, story writer, and relationship builder. So I don't have to figure it out, and I can't figure it out. And I can just let him surprise me. And guess what, girls? Several years later, I met my husband, James. My heart, like, sang for joy. I know that sounds so corny, but it was like my heart was like, praise Jesus that I did not end up with that other guy. Like, praise Jesus that all these other guys who I felt rejected by, I didn't end up with them because they were not good for me. Compared to James, like, oh my goodness, James is like 1,000 times better fitted for me. Not because one guy is better than the other, but because James is so much better fitted for me. Like, God knew what he was doing. And girls, when you don't end up with somebody you really thought you were going to be with, it's not because something is wrong with you. It's because God has something better fitted for you. I really believe that. And you know, all those times when I was rejected, it wasn't because there was something wrong with me. It was just God guiding me. That was a huge lesson for me to learn, that rejection is just another form of God's direction. So I guess what I'm trying to say is this: when you feel rejected, instead of taking that personally, just let that be a form of God's direction in your life and thank him for that direction. And instead of trying to figure out what the future holds, just kind of let it go and let him surprise you, and trust how much he loves and that his plan is always the best plan. So comment below with other ideas you have, and as always, feel free to hit subscribe if you haven't already to see more videos like this. P.S. I totally got this coffee mug for $2.99 at Kohl's. I love coffee just as much as I love boy talk. That's a lie. I love boy talk way more. Also, girls, if you want to talk more about boys, I wrote this book called Boy Crazy and How I Ended Up Single and Mostly Sane. It's about learning to enjoy being single, figuring out dating relationships, and you can order this on Amazon or on my website, tiffanydawn.net. So feel free to get this book if you want more boy talk.